Anybody's on here quite yet, just give me a moment. If you remember, I do have to come on just a little bit early just so I can get my live all set up. Because, YouTube wants to be fussy. So let me just add all the stuff, and you can see the pretty World Card Making Day graphic that I created. Let's see. Um, and it's a little crooked, so let's see if we can fix it. Nope, wrong way. And I need to mute myself. I don't need to hear myself. Nope, I'm going the wrong way. There. Okay, that'll be good for now. I'll bring it down a little bit. Okay. So let me do what I need to do. Okay. I'm just going to take this all out. All right. Change this. Okay. One more thing. Let me go now to Facebook and get this, let people know. Okay. Yvonne, you seriously did not post that. Oh, you crazy woman. Uh, share. Okay, I think we're just about there. It's 7 o'clock. Where's that post that I just did? There it is. Okay, so we got Facebook working, and we have that now, and everything seems like it's good. So let me close that, and I'll close that, and we have this open. Yeah, you already know what these cards look like, silly girl. Well, hello everybody. It is now 7:01 and I have gotten everything added into hold on a second. What on earth? No, I can't refresh that. I don't know what. I don't know if everything that's in the description looks all wonky and combined. I'm hoping it's just because I'm live. But I can't refresh it because if I refresh it, I'm going to end up ending this live and I don't want to do that. So let me move kind of this out of the way some so you're not seeing that. Okay, so let me see what I got. So yes, so again, thank you for joining me. And if you are watching the replay, welcome. This is kind of an extra day of video of well, actually of a live. I can't even speak. And I've lost stuff. Yeah, hold on guys. I'm losing things. Yeah, I guess I'm not supposed to like share any of that because I'm not seeing my little notes. I don't know what I've done with them. Okay, so the things, oh, there they are. There they are. So the housekeeping stuff, most of the notes, I really went into depth about all of the stuff that was going on last night. A couple of things that I just want to make mention. It's only because the dates of things are coming up this coming week. So again, it's World Card Making Day. Hope all of you card makers or paper crafters got to get some crafting time in today. And that if you, I don't know if you had gone and watched the virtual event. In the description, there is a link to the YouTube video that they did. Now they did it as a premiere, so like I tried to click on that link a few minutes ago and it was not responding, so I'm not 100% sure if it's actually working at the moment, but the link to that YouTube video that they did is in there. Now, when you subscribe, those subscribers were receiving a free gift. I don't know what it is. I know that I got an email not too long ago. I don't know what it says because I was trying to get everything done and ready for tonight. So again, it's World Card Making Day. I wanted to make mention about the Paper Pumpkin offer, the 40% off your first month, and this ends on October 10th. This is for the October Nests of Christmas kit. This, so if you are a new subscriber or if you're returning, and if you're returning, use a different email address than what you had used before if you want to get the 40% off. So for this month, if you want the paper pumpkin at the discount, go to paperpumpkin.com and use the code holiday40. um, Again, that's linked in the description as well. And if it's not there right this very moment, because like I said, I'm kind of looking at it and it just looks a little bit jacked up. But I will go back after we're done to make sure it looks good. Because what I am basically seeing the dimensions of the cards that we're doing. It's just everything is jumbled up into one huge paragraph. But I don't know if that's how you see it. I certainly can't, like I said, I can't refresh because if I do, I'll end up ending the live and I don't want to do that. Okay, so Paper Pumpkin, that offer ends on October 10th. And then there's the add-on dies if you want those. I mentioned that. The starter kit special that started, that goes through the 31st. Online exclusives. Demonstrators are able to pre-order this stuff right now. It'll go live to customers in November. Uh, this sale right here, this is going to start on Monday and it goes from October 7th through the 9th. It is a 3-day stamp sale and it's 15% off all stamp sets in the 2024-2025 annual catalog. So the discount, it's not on bundles, just the stamp sets and just from the annual catalog. It's none of them that's in the holiday mini, in the online exclusives, just what's in the annual catalog. And then basically that's it. A lot of this, like I said, a lot of this stuff I spoke about last night. Oh, and then the kits collection, there are kits in there that are up to 30% off. So there's a link to that in the online store as well. So with that, let me move my nice pretty graphic out of the way and let's get started. So my first card, and I have my little pieces here. And let me get this out of the way. So for my first card, I have a piece of Whisper White Thick. This measures 8.5 by 5.5. I've scored it at 4 1/4. I have a scrap piece of Basic White. I'll be stamping on this and die cutting. And then ahead of time, I had punched out of a scrap of Basic White 4 1-inch circles. And then out of the Brights 6x6 DSP, this is the current pack, that I punched out 2 of the patterns out of Azure Afternoon. I punched out 3 in Flirty Flamingo and then 3 in the Daffodil Delight. So let me just move those aside, and then I have a 7-inch piece of the black and very vanilla large check ribbon. So I will start and I will fold and burnish my card base. And go ahead, sit over there and chuckle, Yvonne. I know you're chuckling after I said that. Fold and burnish. I'll set that aside. Okay, so then for this piece, I'm going to bring in, well, actually, this is a red rubber stamp set. You know, I didn't even tell you what it is that I'm using. So for tonight's live, I am creating projects using I'm using 3 different sets. I'm not using one set to create 3 cards. So for this one, I am using the main the main star of the show, if I want to call it that, is the Choose Happy stamp set. And then along with that, I'm going to use the Sweetly Scripted as well. So I'm going to pull out, I'm going to do this as a happy birthday card. So I'm going to pull out the happy birthday and my Memento Tuxedo Black ink. Let's just move that out of the way because we do not want to get the black ink. This is not long enough. Let me grab my other block. That one's not quite long enough. Okay. So then let me take this, move this, and all right, so I'm gonna ink this up. This is gonna go over, so let me grab trying to find kind of a clean piece, somewhat clean piece of scrap paper to put under so I don't mess up that other grid paper. So I'm going to ink this up and I'm going to stamp this right in the middle, kind of, sort of. Okay, we'll set that aside for a moment. Then on these 4 little basic white 1-inch circles, I am going to bring in the stamp with the little bee. Hey Deborah, how you doing? Did you get the opportunity to do some paper crafting today? Oh, and by the way, Deborah, you know, one of the, not this past yesterday's live, but the one before, I think it was the one before, when I said that I'm pretty sure that I sent out that card from when I did, what is it, the Unbounded Love. Yeah, after I said that, I ended up finding that card on the shelf of my Calyx unit. So yeah, so it didn't get lost in the mail. It's actually on its way as we speak, if you haven't already gotten it yet. Yeah, so when I saw it, it was like, yeah, you never sent it. Sorry about that. Okay. So I'm going to take the bee and I'm going to stamp this right into the circle. Now, it's not going to get all of the trail. It's just going to get some of it. And I want to do that on all 4. Yeah, I think you ended up getting another card, wasn't it? Another week when I did the drawing at the very end, I think there was a card that you got from that. I sent that one, but yeah, for some reason I put it up on the shelf of my Calyx unit, and I remember you sent the email, and I still had the card, and I thought I did it, and clearly I didn't. You didn't get the other one? When did I mail that? Oh, Deborah, I mailed, you know what? I mailed that out on Thursday. So you should be getting it any day. It went out Thursday. That's right, because I had it sitting on my table and I really didn't get out until Thursday. So yeah, it's on its way. It's on its way. So a little bit of a confession. So today, you know, it was actually supposed to be a day. Okay, Yvonne. Um, the plan was, you know, to do my in-person get together for World Card Making Day. And so Yvonne, aka Don Newberry, here in the chat, she is here. Last night, well, yesterday, I was like in a mad dash to get all the projects done for that video that I didn't even have these projects done yet. Choose the hoping. Your birthday's the 26th of this month? My daughter is on the 23rd. Okay, so these little bees, we want the dark Daffodil Delight blend. Oh, okay. Well, happy early birthday. I'm sure I'll be wishing you a happy birthday again before then or by then. Okay, so the little stripes that are on the bee, I want to color those in. Okay, so I'm done with that. Okay, so I'm going to take these, I'm going to set these aside. And then the happy birthday, I am going to die cut that. And I'm going to be using the Stylish Shapes dies, and I'm going to use the larger banner. Now, like I've done before, I have my electronic cutter over here, and so I'm going to use it, you know, kind of save my wrist. So let me grab this. And then I'm going to center this. Okay. Is that? Deborah, are you talking about Yvonne? Okay. All right, so let me put that away. Okay, so there is our banner. All right, so this card is just it's going to be a very easy card. The layout of this, I'm going to just take my pieces and I'm going to place them down. And then I will add like all the adhesive and stuff like that. Okay. This one goes there. And here. All these bees. Okay, so with this, let me bring in my adhesive. And bring in my silicone craft sheet. All right, so on these DSP pieces, okay, where's my adhesive? So I'm going to add my adhesive on these. Now I'm just going to lightly place these down, because if I have to move them, I'll be able to do that without destroying the paper. Okay, and I'm going to try and line these up the best that I can. Okay. Now the bees, they're going to be popped up on a dimensional. Wow. That down just a little bit. Okay. All right, that one goes there. And I didn't leave a lot of room here. Gotta make these a little bit closer because I need to have that space in the middle to put that banner. And I'm trying to avoid on covering up a lot of these circles. I want to be able to see those. You did, okay, you did the event today. Oh, yeah. You know, it, in the past when they've done their event, like last year, it was like, okay, you had a choice of, well, there were 3 bundles that they used. And I can tell you that one of those bundles, it turned out I got the set of dies, but the stamp set, I had just missed it. The stamp set had gone on back order. And so I had to improvise with something else. And yeah, at least you were stamping and all that. But when they went and said, okay, well, we're going to be doing, when they say an hour's time, and they're using, just the ephemera pack and all that. Yeah, because like I said, what I did last year is when I went to do my live, I basically did the same projects that they did. However, um, not this year. I need a little bit oh, they went really well. They went really fast because, hey, there was no stamping involved, really no cutting or anything. But yeah, I needed to have I needed to something a little bit more. Okay, I think this is straight. Okay, this one. These don't look straight. Okay, and then this one was going right over here. All right, so I think I got enough room. Yeah, I got enough room in the middle there. So these all, move this one up just a little bit. Okay. All right, so I am going to stick those all down. And then I'm going to bring in my dimensionals. want to add one on the back of all these bumblebees. It was interesting when it came to designing the projects that I was going to do today and tonight. You know, I thought, okay, let me look through the stash, and I thought, okay, I'll go with mostly those sets where it's just a stamp set. And I started pulling these out. I'm like, okay, I'll go with this. And when all was said and done, and I did my sample cards, I said to my assistant, oh, aka Yvonne, aka Don Newberry, um, what's the common denominator here on these cards? And she's like, they're all bugs. Yep, they're all winged bugs. But they're super cute cards. Now this, I want to give credit on the design of this card. I had gone out on Pinterest and I had found this one, and this one was designed by a fellow demonstrator up in Canada. Uh, Denise Cox. So this is her design, so I want to give her kudos and credit for it. Very cute card. Okay, and then this one we'll put right here. Now the only difference is when it came to the greeting, she didn't die cut it using the stylish shapes. She just created a banner, you know, without the punch or anything. Okay, so then I'm going to take my adhesive and I'm going to add some of this in the middle. And then I'm going to take my ribbon. Now this, again, this is 7 inches. And I want to kind of have it even. And I'm going to stick this down. And do a bit of a zigzag. Okay. Okay. That looks good. Okay, and then on the back of my greeting, I'm going to add a few more. Oh, I thought they were flowers. Okay, and then I'm going to center this. Actually, I'm going to bring this down a little bit. That's straight. Okay, then let me get my scissors. Okay. So I'm just going to snip the ends of my ribbon to where they're straight. Oops, I didn't get the one little strand. Okay, so then I'm going to take my Wink Estella and I'm going to add some onto these bee wings. Okay. And then I'm going to bring in, let's see, where are those embellishments? So these are the rainbow adhesive back dots. These were in our previous little mini catalog that carried over. These coordinated with that suite that has the hot air balloon. So on this, I am going to take one of the larger yellow ones, and I'm going to add that one up here. Now, she, on her sample card, she literally had like one of these little dots and almost like all the paper um, pieces, but this is the only pack that I got, and you can see you only get like 10 of the large and the small in each of these colors. So I thought, okay, I don't have another pack yet, so let me just, we're just going to do the normal odd number of 3 on this. So there is the first project. Really super cute. All right, so let me get all the stuff for our next card, and let me put these stamps away so I can get these out of the way. Where does this go? It goes in this way. Ooh, explosion box. Ooh, very cool. Yeah, I have what do you call it? I have 2 packs of that paper before it retired. And I saw that it was on the clearance rack, but is now gone. I haven't done anything with that hot air balloon set yet. Alright, so let me put those aside. Alright, and the next card. Alright, so this one, let me show you where the inspiration of this one came from. So for this one, I will be using the Labeled with Love bundle. Now the Labeled with Love bundle, there's 2 different options with this one. You can get it with the stamp set bundled with a die that cuts out 3 of the labels, or you can get it bundled with a punch, and I have the punch. So this is the bundle right here. Now this project right up here, this is actually a little gift box. So I am going to do my version of this, but in the form of a card. That's what's nice about our catalog. It's not just a catalog, but it's also an idea book as well. All right, so let me bring in the stamp set and pull out the stamps that I need for this. So I have the stamp that says "Enjoy Today," the outline of that label, and then the outline of the butterfly. Hey, Froggy. Welcome. Okay, so let me get my stamps on here. Okay, get that out of the way. All right, so where's all my pieces here? All right, so if you like pink, this has got the pink. All right, so I have for my card base a piece of Melon Mambo. This measures 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.25. I have a piece of basic white. This measures 5 by 3 3/4. And I didn't do this ahead of time, but I am going to emboss it using the Dashing Designs 3D embossing folder. So let me set that aside. Then I have a piece of, this is Lily Pond Lane DSP. It's this pack of paper right here. Lots of bright colors in this. So this is the back of one of those patterns. That measures, I think I just said what that measured. No, did I? No. 3 by 1 3/4. And then I have 2 scraps of basic white. So let me fold and burnish this. Yes. Okay, set that aside. All right, and then I have a piece of the silver, was a silver and white sheer ribbon. We're going to color that. So they use the, what is it? The, what is this ribbon? Hold on. They used this ribbon, the Petal Pink and White Diagonal Trim Combo Pack. This went with, was it the Country Woods, the Country Birdhouse, one of that whole big suite. So they had taken this white and they had colored the, you know, the piece with the Daffodil Delight, but instead of using that, I opted for the sheer ribbon. So let me get my scrap paper. And we're going to color a ribbon. What's nice about this, I'm using my brush end and I'm not going with the tip. I'm going to go along the side. And what's nice about this, it's not just coloring, you know, like the sheer part, but it's also getting that silver foil that's on the edges too. So even though I'm getting this side, I'm going to turn this over and I'll get the other side as well, since when I make my bow, you'll end up seeing both sides of this. I did something similar to this with the card that I made last night in my Friday Night Live. I featured the, was it the Changing Leaves bundle? And one of the last card that I did, which was a very popular card, I did this in the dark Cajun Craze color. Whoops. Totally missed a ribbon there. Okay, so I'm going to let that sit for a moment. Just so that fully dries. Okay. And then on these pieces here, now on this larger one, I'm going to take the stamp that's for the shape of the punch, and I'm going to stamp that in Melon Mambo. And try not to put my finger in the ink pad. All right, ink this up. And I'm going to stamp that right here. And Froggy, at some point we're working on getting Yvonne with her own YouTube channel. I know she's out there shaking her head. Okay, and oops, I still needed that. Hello, Melanie. Welcome. Happy World Card Making Day. Hope all of you, I mean, yeah, Deborah mentioned it. Hope all of, and I know Yvonne did. Hope you, all of you were able to get in some paper crafting done today. It's not necessarily just for cards. You can basically do any type of paper crafting, in my opinion. Okay, so I'm going to stamp the enjoy today. And then let me bring in the punch. So again, with this bundle, you can get it with a punch or um, a die that cuts out 3 of these. Okay, line that up. Punch it out. Okay. Put that aside. All right, and then on this piece, I'm going to bring in the butterfly and my black ink. Well, at least you were handling cards, so yeah, the bad thing with me, so Yvonne is working on some cards that she found on Pinterest that she really liked. And while she was doing that, I was actually working on planning these cards because last night for that live, yeah, it was kind of like just about time to go live when I got all of that stuff done. So when it came to the projects for today and tonight, I didn't even have that started. I didn't even have them figured out until this morning. So they came together pretty quick, so that was good. So yeah, so she's been working on her cards for most of the day. And actually, when I'm done here, we're going to actually create these cards. So usually we do the cards first and then do the live, and yeah. Okay, so then I'm going to let that dry some before I go and color those. So in the meantime, let me set all these aside. I'm going to emboss this. And bring this in. And this is a 3D folder. So let me get these. I like that on their embossing folders, they have this line here that you can line them up. This one, this folder is in the annual catalog, the Dashing Designs 3D. I believe this is the one that's part of that suite, the Wildflower suite. It's the one suite that I don't have, but I do have the embossing folder. I think everything, as a matter of fact, I think everything that I'm using tonight is all from the annual catalog. The only thing that I'm using that it's a retired item is the 1-inch circle punch that I used on the first card. Okay, so now let me get this out of the way. I apologize for the shaking. All right, so we have, so like on this embossing folder, you'll see that some of it is indented, some of it's raised. So the side that was facing up, where the Stampin' Up logo is, that's going to be the top of my card. So what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to bring in my Flirty Flamingo ink. and my blending brush. And I'm just going to go very lightly with this over the top of this cardstock. So I just wanted to pick up some of that raised detail. Okay. Okay, so that's it with the stamping on this one. Okay. So then I'm going to take this basic white piece, add adhesive, and put that on my card base. Okay, and then on this piece of DSP, I'm going to bring in my dimensionals. Add a few on here. Froggy, did your card make it to you? If I remember right, you're up in Canada. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to center this right here. Okay, then let me bring in my butterflies and my scrap paper. Yay! You know, maybe we can work on that tonight, tomorrow. We'll get it worked on. We'll get it worked on. She doesn't know it yet. Okay, so for my butterflies, I have my dark Daffodil Delight, and I have dark Flirty Flamingo, and my light Melon Mambo. So I'm going to start with the dark Daffodil Delight, and I'm just going to add some strokes of color towards the center of the butterfly wings. Okay, and then I'm going to take my light Melon Mambo, and I'm going to do the wings, and I'm going to do inside of where those dots are on the very edge. When I did the sample card, I ended up coloring the whole entire wing, and then noticed on the project, oh yeah, they didn't do that. Okay. Then I'm going to come in with the Flirty Flamingo, and I'm going to kind of blend the two of them together. I could have done the other butterfly while I was at it, but didn't think to do that. These colors really meld together really nicely. Kind of gives that orange in between. Okay, so I got that one. Ooh, 6 a.m. is early. Okay, Deborah. Yeah, if you want to come back and watch the replay, the first like 10 minutes or so was just me setting everything up. Thank you for joining us. Sleep well. Okay, and then let me do my flirty flamingo. Whoa, nothing like going out of the lines. The tip on this marker is starting to get a little bit like frayed a little bit here, so okay. And then let me bring in the Daffodil Delight again. Okay. Now for the part that is my least favorite. Unfortunately, the stamp set doesn't have any dies for the images that are in it, so I have to cut these out. But they're not too bad. Yeah, the one thing that the reason one is, well, let's see. First off, some people say that like they find doing fussy cutting very relaxing, you know, like they could sit there, they can watch TV and do this. First off, no, I can't do that because I probably cut my finger off. We don't want to do that. And second, there is nothing relaxing about this because to be honest, yeah, my hand's not feeling very good, so there is nothing relaxing about this. Okay, so there's one of them. And then cut out the other one. I think also some of these other demos that do this, that do such a good job at it, they're also all righties, and I'm a lefty. So I don't know if that plays a factor in it. And out of the line a little bit there. I think we can hide that. Let me put it down. Okay. That's done. All right, so on this, let me bring in this here. I'm going to take the Enjoy Today tag, add some dimensionals onto the back of this. All right, and then I'm going to center this. Well, I want to bring it down just a little bit on this piece of DSP. And then I am going to take, let's see. I'm going to place, let me see, let me just kind of place this for a minute. I'm going to stick this. Ooh, yeah, that doesn't feel good. Don't do that to your finger. So I'm going to put that down. Hopefully that'll be covered. Okay. And then I'm going to stick another one right under here. Kind of tuck that. All right, now this is the one. Okay, that's not going to be covered. So I'm going to take some of my adhesive, place it on that wing, and we're going to place, make sure that I cover up. I'm going to make sure that I cover up that dimensional. Okay, so before I put the second one down, I'm going to bring in my Wink of Stella and I'm going to add some onto this butterfly. I think is so cool when you add Wink of Stella to something you colored in the blends. It just makes the color look really vibrant afterwards. All right, so we got bits and pieces on this sheet, so I'll use that for when I'm doing base pieces. So I'm going to bring in another sheet and we'll add one here, one here. And then we'll add this one right there. Add the wink. Okay, then let me tie my bow. Kind of twist these ends so it'll lay nice. Okay, and then I'm going to bring in my glue dots. Okay, and then for the ribbons, I like to place a glue dot on the back of the loop of the bow right next to the knot, and on the knot and on the other side, so a little bit of extra adhesive so my bow stays on my card. Okay, and then I'm going to place this right up here, and then my scissors, and we'll trim this. Okay, and then for my embellishments, for this one, I know that these embellishments have been on back order quite a bit of times, and I think they're in stock now. These are the iridescent faceted gems. These are part of that, I think it's Full of Life suite that's in the annual catalog. This is the one that has the DSP that looks like watercolor. So these things are just like really, really sparkly. So I'm going to add a few of these to this card. They didn't have like any embellishment at all on that sample of the box that they had. So, I mean, you got to have some sparkle on here, right? Okay, so just going to add the usual 3 on here. Put that aside. Kind of get this stuff out of the way, and there is the second card. So it's a card version of the box sample that they had in the annual catalog. Okay, so let me kind of put these stamps away and then pull in the stuff for my last card. Oops, wrong stamp set. What did I do with the stamp set? I put it back here. I have my calyx unit right behind me, so it becomes a catch-all for everything. Okay. Get these put back. Okay. All right, so for my last card, for this one, I'm going to use the Happiest Day stamp set. And I'm also using the Nested Essentials dies. This is not the largest rectangle. This is the one just a little bit smaller. Let's see, what else? Okay, yeah, the card pieces. Let me bring that in. Okay. So for this one, I have for my card base a piece of Highland heather, measures 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I have a piece of basic white. This measures 5.5 by 2. And I see that my PDF I have to fix because I put 5 inches, but it's 5.5 by 2. I have a scrap piece of basic white, and then there's the piece that I die cut from that Nested Essential die. Okay, so on this piece, let me get my Stampin' Pierce mat. And so this one is going to be for those that like the dragonflies. And I don't know about you, but I really like this greeting that says, "You make me feel like glitter in the sun." So that's the one that we're going to use on this card. And then we want our little stars, our sparkle stars. Okay. And let's see. I don't know why I just pulled the block out when I already got them out. Okay. All right, so on this on this tag, the colors I'm using for this project, I have Smoky Slate, Balmy Blue, and Highland Heather. So my greeting, I'm going to stamp this in Balmy Blue. Let's see. I'm going to center that like so. What's nice is that this whole greeting, it's not straight, so that looks pretty good. Could have went up a little bit more, but that's okay. All right. Then let me set that aside. Then on here in my Smoky Slate, I need this. I am going to stamp 3 of these dragonflies. And my Smoky Slate ink is very inky. Okay, I'll set that aside. And then on this piece, let me get this scrap paper. So on here, I'm going to stamp more of these dragonflies. And let me get, got my sample card. Okay, so I'm going to add one up here. Do one there. I got one more. I'll put right there. Okay, so we'll set that aside and let that dry. Oh, I'm not done yet. Silly girl, don't put the ink away yet. You're not done. Okay, so then the stamp that's got all these little sparkles and stars on it, I'm going to bring in this piece again. And with the Smoky Slate, I'm going to ink it up and I'm going to stamp off. And then I'm going to kind of stamp in between these dragonflies. And if some of these get on the wings of these dragonflies, that's okay. Let's see, you can add a little bit up there. And just a little bit right there. Okay, that's good. So let me clean this stamp off because we're going to use this one again. This time I'm going, well, I'm going to set that aside first. And then I'm going to take my Highland Heather card base and fold and burnish this. Because we're going to stamp some of, we're going to stamp pretty much the whole front of this card with these sparkles, and I'm going to do that in the Highland Heather ink. And let me take this and put it underneath, and we can close this up. All right. So I am going to just stamp this full strength. And what I'm doing is, as I'm stamping, I'm just turning my stamp around so that way it looks a little more random. Okay, and then do the other side. Okay, and then, so this white piece here that I had stamped, this is going to go right over here. So there's a little bit of a gap. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of come down right next to that, just to kind of fill that in a little bit. Okay. So there's our base. All right, so let's close this up. We're done with the stamping part. So now we have some stuff to color in. So on these three, I'm going to use both the light and dark Highland Heather and the light and dark Balmy Blue. Okay, so then on these, one of them is going to be Balmy Blue, and I'm just adding just, you know, streaks of the color on them. I'm not being precise. Okay, and then I'm going to do this one. All right, now I'm going to set that aside. Now, when you're using the blends for the color to really blend really well, you want to do it while the ink is still wet, but I want to see the difference in the between the dark and the light. So I'm going to let that dry some before I go then add the lighter shade of it. So then on here, I'm going to do the same thing. Now three of these are basically the placeholder. So like one of these purple ones is going to lay right over this one. So I needed to stamp so I knew where to place the ones that I was going to pop up. Right, and then we got this one. Okay, so we should have 4 of them. Okay, and then I'm going to bring in the dark Balmy Blue, and I'm going to do the rest of them. Now the sample I saw with this card, I don't really know if they're a demo or not, but they had used, I think it would have been, the card base may have been Crushed Curry or Daffodil Delight. So they kind of did it in the pinks and the yellows. And I decided I wanted to do the blues and the purples. All right, so then with the light, I'm just going to add a few more. Now I'm not going to fill in the whole wing. I'm going to leave some of that white showing. And you can see how you can actually see the light between the dark. I'm still alive, right? I mean, this thing, because the last comment that I see is when Deborah left us. Okay. So the light Highland Heather. When I put the light down, it actually looks like it's more pinkish. Oh, okay. All right, so set that aside and let's come in and do our strip here. Okay, and then our Highland Heather. All right. So we're done with the coloring. All right, so let's set that aside. Now the fun part, the fussy cutting. Let's separate these. Wow, I have already been over an hour. Doesn't seem like it was. Technically discovered after making it. Oh, oh, thermal embossing. Yeah, 82. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing too. Yeah, I mean, if you kind of subtract like about 10 minutes of that, that was me just getting everything set up since I can't schedule the lives with everything already done. YouTube needs to fix the problem because this is like, it's getting old now. And I'm sure there are a lot of other demos that are feeling the same way. When I would do pre-records, not like as a private live, but just actual pre-records, I would so I would kind of do it in steps. So like the beginning part of the card, okay, here's my pieces, and do whatever stamping, and then like all die cutting, fussy cutting, coloring, embossing, all that stuff would be a separate video clip, which I would then later on edit to speed it up, and I'll add the music and everything. I tell you, it's kind of funny that parts like this that, take a bit of time to do, to watch it in all sped up is pretty interesting. I wish I can do it that fast and still have a decent looking, card. And these things aren't too bad on cutting them out, but I'll tell you what, when your hand's already hurting, it's like, ow, ow, ow. I think one of the things too with the fussy cutting that I don't like is that it leaves like all those jaggedy edges. Now something like this would be pull out the brother scan and cut and like and cut it all out this way, because this is like, yeah, I gotta kind of let it go, that it doesn't look all smooth and perfect. We're almost there. Okay, whew, that's done. All right, now this piece right here, I'm going to bring in my adhesive. We're going to put this down on our card base. Okay, I'll place that about here. And then on here, I'm going to add dimensionals. So I want to make sure I put it in the right spot. So I want one really close to the body on this side. I froze for a few seconds. Okay, so I'm just going to pop it up over the one that I stamped. And then we got this balmy blue one. And this one will go right over here. And then this one. Okay, and then we'll place this one right here. And then on this greeting, we're going to add some more dimensionals to the back of this. All right, and then this is going to go right here. Okay, then of course we need to wink a Stella. Actually, I'm going to trim this. I feel bad that I'm doing this, where I'm clipping this dragonfly's wing. Makes me sad. Okay, then wink a Stella on all of the wings. Okay, and then for my embellishments, I am using, let's see, these are the adhesive back sparkle gems. And I'm going to use these white ones here. And I'm going to take one of my larger ones, I'm going to place that on the greeting. And then my smaller ones I'm going to kind of put in here. And one up here. Okay, so there is our third card. A little bit of sparkle, a lot of blue and the purple. So let me bring in the other two cards that I've made. So here is our first one. I used the retired 1-inch circle punch on this, and this is the Brights DSP. This one I want to give credit to fellow demo Denise Cox in Canada. This was her design. I thought it was really super cute, so I thought this would be a perfect card for World Card Making Day. And then our second one, this is my card version of the box sample that's in the annual catalog. And then here is my third card. So with that, we are done. So 2 back-to-back lives, one that I did last night, and if you missed that, I featured the changing leaves bundle. Um, Now that I have done this video, now Yvonne and myself, we will be working on these cards because these were the projects that we were going to do today. But, you know, I was busy planning them today and getting everything prepped and everything. So we are going to recreate these cards again. Um, as I mentioned at the very beginning, I only did a little bit of housekeeping notes for you. Let me just mention them again, only because some of these things are going to be ending by next Thursday. So let me just make mention of it. So the paper pumpkin promotion that's going on for first-time subscribers, or if you're returning, use a different email address. You can get the first month, which is the October kit, for 40% off. Use the code holiday40 at paperpumpkin.com. Now this kit is the one that coordinates with the Nest of Winter Sweet collection that is in our current holiday mini. So again, this ends on October 10th. What else we got? The other thing that was kind of going away. Come on. Okay, that's something else. Again, with World Card Making Day, I didn't know about this until after the fact, because last year when Stampin' Up! Did their virtual event, they had sent a link to the platform in which they were going to do it. But it turns out that there's actually, they did a YouTube premiere. So I did include a link to where that video is. Now I tried it before I went live, and I don't know if it was just my laptop was, I don't know. It was saying it wasn't responding. I don't know if it's actually available to watch or if you have to wait until the 8th. I really don't know. But I do have a link to that YouTube video that they had done. Also, there is a 3-day stamp sale. It's 15% off all of the stamps from the 2024-2025 annual catalog. This happens this coming Monday through Wednesday, October 7th through the 9th. So I want to make mention of that so you were aware of it. So with that, we are done. So if you like the projects I made, if you like the video, please give the video a thumbs up. And if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the channel. With between the commenting, the sharing, the subscribing, liking, and all that, that really helps in not only building this channel, but it also gets gets my videos out there to other people who really enjoy doing paper crafting. There's that, and then it also helps me in building my Stampin' Up! Business. So I will be back next Thursday with another Throwback Thursday, and then I will be doing Frosted Forest. That is an online exclusive bundle that I'll be doing next Friday evening. So I hope you can join me then. So until then, everyone stay safe and be blessed, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.